Bass Assassin has just come out with a new color. It's called Clear Gold. Certainly this is the saltwater shad. The reason why I like it, I got it with a Pro Elite jig head, but Ray, the reason why I like it in our tannic water that we have in a lot of the places in Florida with this time of the year, the gold, as you think about it this way, we're gonna follow this up, follow it up, follow it up. I want to see what happens as it gets transparent in the light. It has a tendency to go transparent, and more importantly, you only see the glitter. And to me, now it's more of a silhouette. Think of how a shrimp is clear a lot of times when it comes out of the tank. Guys, check this out. Costa and Casa Vieja Lodge have teamed up. 7 of the boats in the fleet all have a little display like this on the boat. And the reason why they wanted to do this is because simply when you're out here on the water and you have sunlight, you have different types of glare, you have different types of white water, and what a better place to test a Costa pair of sunglasses. What seems to work offshore is gray with a blue lens, gray without any reflective lens, and even gray with silver. But on variable light, you might want to go to a copper color or a green colored mirror or even a silver. And in low light conditions, then we also have what they call the sunrise, which is perfect for that early morning light. Now remember this, it's a lot cooler to be able to test this out in the wild than in a retail store where it's actually, you know, of ambient light instead of full-blown sunlight. So keep that in mind, that when you come to Casa Vieja, make sure you ask all the guys to see this, and you can certainly purchase them in the pro shop that they have right there at the lodge.
Next we have the Diamond presentation. It's Diamond line. It's a presentation called fluorocarbon. Its presentation is the name of the fluorocarbon. And that comes in 2 different colors, clear and pink. The refractive index on this fluorocarbon is amazing. It's almost identical to seawater. So you put this stuff in salt water and it almost disappears. You know, the pink color, a lot of guys like pink. That allows you to see it a little better, but once any kind of red, pink, shade of pink gets in the water, it's the first thing that disappears in the water as well. 30 feet down or 30 feet from either side, all that, the color disappears completely.
So you can go to diamond.com?
Correct, diamondline.com.
This Trocar 5.0 really works well. It's slightly offset. I love the way it always seems to find the corner of a snook's mouth, or right here in the top if we're tarpon fishing. The other thing too is if you're using mullet, whether it's a finger mullet or a big mullet, you got to make sure you have enough gap whenever you hook that fish in the top part of the lip in order for you to be able to actually hook the fish. So you might have to go up to a 9 or a 10.0 in order to make sure that that works. This Circle C Eagle Claw works very well, and I like the fact that it is silver, which matches the sides of the fish. We've all kind of switched over to black hooks, and that's might not necessarily be in the best interest.
Garmin, they sponsor all the things we do, but more importantly, they give me some great units for both my Pathfinder, my skiff, as well as the contender. And the thing that I really love about them is that you not only get the sonar down imaging and side imaging, but you also get great GPS, and we use that on the little skiff. But when it comes to radar, I'm going to tell you that they have the state-of-the-art radar.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I want to point out to people is the one thing that we like to do on the contender is we love to run with the split screen. And the reason why is because it allows us to monitor the last 10 to 15 feet. I can really zoom in there and we can see you know, the different types of fish, but more importantly, how the fish are laying up behind the structure.
It covers the whole water column.
Absolutely, so we're looking at the whole water column on one side, but in the perfect world, by zooming in like that, what we're able to do is see this ball of bait, and then you can see the predators are actually circling. When you get the fish that are actually spread out like that or behind the wreck, that's usually what happens when they're not in a monster feeding mode. But look at the baits there and all the kingfish laying behind the schools of bait, as well as there's some snappers there as well. That's one of the things that I love about their product. The other thing that we used it when we were marlin fishing last month in the Bahamas. We marked a school of bait by using the split screen where we're 50 feet all the way down to 300 feet. And that ball of bait, Dave, was probably a half a mile wide. We went off chasing some birds. We were using our radar to look for the birds. They have a mode where you go to menu in the radar, push the bird mode, and now the unit is programmed
Optimized
to look
for the
a
birds.
little different. And you can see how the flocks of birds are actually changing and moving. But at the end of the day, what was so crazy is we came back to where we found that giant school of bait, and Colin caught a 250-pound Mako trolling marlin lures, and then 10 minutes later, Kathy was hooked up to a 500-pounder, fought him for 2.5 hours, and caught the fish.
Well, if you
That's
can
a big
find
blue marlin.
find the bait, you'll find everybody that eats it.
Absolutely. What? Come on, man. Are you kidding me? The samples ain't samples no more, boys and girls. Nice. So as you can tell, I'll go ahead and open up one of these guys here. These are all the medium heavies, which is what I use for casting lures for snook and redfish. But I want to show you, this one's loose, so we'll go ahead and just open this one up. What I'm talking about. Sean, grab that tip, pull it. There we go. So, as you can tell, there's a whole bunch of different things we did here. One, we made really short butts. And the reason why is because on windy days when you always seem to fish downwind, the loose fitting shirts, the fishing style of shirts with the 2 pockets and the collars, they always seem to get caught on the long rod butts. So I made it so that the rod butt wasn't any longer than my elbow. The other thing we did, which is very important, is we made the reel seat so that it locks this way. And the reason why that's important is when you put a spinning reel on here, if you're constantly pushing the reel, you're holding the rod up like this and you're pulling on the fish and you're reeling, the centrifugal force is pushing down on this part of the reel seat. And by locking it this way, it never loosens up after you seat it one time. So that was very important. The other thing that we did is we made each one of the rods with 10 Fuji guides. And the reason that was very important to Randy, and as he explained it to me, what it does is it displaces the line over many different places on the rod, so you get actually more action out of the rod when you're fighting a fish.
Next, we got some fish bites. These are the bag of worms, the longer lasting bud worms. They've added some more scent to them now. You know, if you notice when you go in there, the blue package are the longer lasting ones and the red packages are the fast acting. And these are the longer lasting now. They've got even more scent than they used to have. The long lasting ones like these, you can cut them to however size you want. They're really hard to get off the hook. And you know, the extra durability with the long lasting for extended periods of time, and it makes a good choice for, you know, if you want to go bottom fishing or wind that thing on up on a hook and you can catch brim with it probably. I know I catch everything on that stuff, from flounders to trout on jig and everything. I mean, a lot of things eat it. It's amazing.
Pompanos, black drums,
Correct.
tipping it. I caught lots of different variety of snappers with this just
Right.
by taking this and putting on a bucktail.
Right, it melts into the water and really makes them hang on. And because, you know, it's food for them, so they'll eat it. All right,
You know,
next.
What it tastes like, Dave, just so you know.
I don't want to know.
But no, seriously, it
Yeah.
tastes like and smells like mashed potatoes.
Oh, okay.
And who doesn't like mashed potatoes? I do.
I don't know, man.
Hey guys, Captain Rick Murphy here from the Florida Insider Fisher Report and Sportsman's Adventures. And guys, I want to tell you a new product that's come out to me. It's called SiriusXM Weather. And why I like this so much is think about how safe it is now to have radar in a technical poling skiff. You know, we're so much more exposed when you're in a little skiff. One, you only have a boat that does 35 to 40 miles an hour with a 70 horsepower. The other thing is that you don't have a T-top or a salon to run into when you have severe weather. So now with having this subscription-based service, I can actually monitor exactly what these storms, these thunderstorms are doing as they approach the Florida Keys and in Florida Bay while I'm out tarpon fishing. The reason why this is so important to me is knowing the level of intensity. Is it just a little rain or is it serious? Does it have lightning in it? Does it have real heavy rain, how much wind it has, and also which way it is moving is seriously important to me. So keep in mind that you don't have to have phone signal. It's a subscription that comes from a satellite, and it's really simple. We can just monitor exactly what the storms are doing. So for technical polling skiff, guys, we're gonna be a lot safer on the water, and I'm sure with this little antenna and my chart plotter, we can simply keep our customers a lot safer.
Next, we got the Soft Science. These are the slip-ons. They're called the Trade Winds. They're called, you know, the athleisure is what they are. They're an athleisure shoe, athletic leisure shoe. It'd be great for the plane. I like to fly. You know, when I used to fly a lot, I'd love to have a pair of slip-ons that I could wear on the plane. They're nice and comfortable. What's great about these is they have the Trilon insert as well as the outsole. They got a really cool little neoprene thing. When you fit on your feet, it's like a sock. You know, the woven top here really hugs your feet, makes you very comfortable. They have a nice silicone non-slip thing on the inside here, so once your foot's in there, it doesn't come
And the
flying
reason
out all
why
the
I
time.
picked them to be in the products for the permit is because a lot of guys fly fish, no laces, guys.
Nothing can stick on that.
Hey guys, Captain Rick Murphy here, and I want to talk to you about some of the cool tricks that we use in the Murphy household when it comes to cleaning our boats. You know, keeping up with 3 boats can really be problematic, but we've got it down to a fine science because of some of the great products that Starbright make. Now, our go-to as far as the boat wash is simply the Citrus Boat Wash and Wax. But every once in a while, we gotta have a little bit more brawn. We gotta have something with a little more punch. And it seems like the Extreme Clean really is working very well for us. The reason why I like this is I can spray it on literally everything. I can spray it on my vinyl, I can spray it on my stainless steel, aluminum, as well as the fiberglass, and it doesn't take the wax off. The reason why that's so important is, you know, bleach is certainly not good for your gel coat. It's not good for the environment. When we put our boats in and we pump out the bilge, guess what? The bleach really hurts the mangroves, it hurts the seagrass, and it's not good to have in the water. And the Extreme Clean, as well as most Starbright products, are all biodegradable. But now we've also come out with the Scuff Sponge in the XL size. And the reason why we're using the Extreme Clean so much is because the road grit. Also, people's shoes grinding in the grit into the gel coat when they're walking around on the floors. It also helps me take off any scuffs that they might have, and it's really easy as 1, 2, 3. So when you go down to your next retailer, ask them if they have the Extreme Clean by Starbright. Hey guys, we're here at the boat show, and as you can tell, I got the new Yamaha XTO 425 standing beside me. This is really a state-of-the-art motor. So let's talk a little bit about it. We're talking about 5.6 liters, direct injection, 3,200 PSI on this motor, guys. And remember this, it also comes in gray, comes in white, and we also have the electronic steering, fly-by-wire steering, so no more hydraulic hoses, no more hydraulic pumps. Now, when we talk about the charging system that's built into the new motor, we got 72 amps of net per motor. So we can keep our bank of batteries charged on our boat at all times. The cool part about this is that it allows us to really run all of our electronics as well as live well pumps and still keep those bank of batteries operating. The other thing that comes to mind is the new lower unit design. What it allows us to do is be a lot better in reverse, 300% better, because the prop wash doesn't come until you reach a maximum RPMs of 2,500 RPMs or more. So we're really more efficient in reverse, and it allows us to really maneuver the boat the way we want. So if you have any questions about the new XTO 425, you can simply go to a Yamaha dealer, or you can go online to YamahaOutboards.com.
It's a pretty thing.
Oh,
I know.
I'm biting my tongue. So let's talk about the fleet of boats that we have here at Casa Vieja Lodge in Guatemala. Starting off, they have 2 center console contender ST35s with Yamaha twins on the back, 300 horsepower. The great part about these boats is they're perfect for when you want to fish 2 guys. You get 1 captain as well as a mate. And for you guys that are on a budget, these are the perfect boats for that situation. The other thing that comes to mind is these boats have a lot of range because of their speed. They carry up to 300 gallons of fuel. And guess what? You can run out to the continental shelf and run back in looking for tunas, marlin, sailfish, a variety of different species that they have here in Guatemala. Now the rest of the fleet consists of sport fish boats from 34 feet right on up into the 40s. Now the great part about that is if you're fishing big groups, 3, 4, maybe even 5 guys, these are the boats that you're going to want to pick. You get 2 mates as well as a captain. And the thing I like about the sport fish boats is how comfortable they are. Some of them are air conditioned, as well as you can get a hot lunch. If you catch a dolphin or even a tuna, those guys would be happy to cook it for you. So whenever you're getting ready to come down and book your trip with Casa Vieja Lodge, pick out which boat's going to best fit your needs.